Hey guys, it's Jacqueline over here at Homeschool Hangout.xyz, and today we are answering a question I've been getting a lot lately, and I get every year, which is, what do I do if I forgot to file my PSA in October? If this is your question, or you know someone who it is, do me a favor, watch the video, send the video to them, thumbs up, like, subscribe. If you just like these kinds of question answer kind of videos, do me a favor, let me know. Also consider joining my Patreon where I have webinars and coffee hangouts and all kinds of things. And let's get into the video. So I've been getting a lot, oh no, it's X months later and I just realized I forgot to file my PSA. What do I do? Well, have no fear, your girl's got your back. I've always told people just file it immediately and it should be okay, but I don't know. I wanted to make sure, so I reached out to the private school department of the California Department of Education and had a conversation with them. And they said, one, I'm right. I like being right. But they gave me a few more details. So if you missed filing your affidavit in October, file it as soon as you realize it. Just file it immediately. You have until June 30th of that academic year. And basically, in the records, it reads as a binary thing. It was a school that academic year or it wasn't a school that academic year. So don't worry about that side of it. Now, I've also received questions of, I forgot for multiple years or I skipped a year. There's no way to go back and fix that. Don't worry about it. It's probably okay, but here's where it gets tricky. If your student is going back to a public school or many colleges, they may require or request a copy of your affidavit. And when they see that you didn't have an affidavit for certain years, they may further scrutinize your transcripts, making it harder for your students to get credit. This is really common, especially if you're putting your kid into a public high school. They tend to question more whether or not they did junior high or earlier high school work. Also, colleges may question. Now, I have to say my kids have done the military, have done community college, and have done California State Universities. We've never been asked for our affidavit. We've only been asked for our transcripts. So as far as that goes, that wasn't a problem for us if we had forgotten, which I have not done yet, knock on wood. The other place that this is a huge issue, because I hear you saying then, well, if it doesn't matter and you can just file it later, who cares if you do it at all? Well, if you ever receive any kind of question, investigation, hey, does your kid go to school? The sheriff's at the door, the school's calling, and you are not a registered school and you do not have them in a official school, you are violating the compulsory education law of the state of California. And frankly, every state, even if you're not here in California. And you could have to be investigated for child neglect. I know in our area, I don't know how legal it is, but for truancies, there have been threats of putting parents in jail, removing children from homes, things like that. So this isn't just it's no big deal if you don't file. I'm not saying they'll take your kid, but I'm saying you could be investigated. You could have to say, no, really, really, really. And they could make you put your kid in public school. So that is really the issue. How do I say it? It's not a big deal till it's a big deal. Could you skate under the radar? I had a commenter who talked about true independent homeschooling is never filing with the state. That's how you're independent. Show me in the law where it's different. Well, compulsory education is law in California. And you have your choice of sending your kid to public compulsory education, or your only out is to put them in an official private school in the state of California. And under Education Code 33190, yes, I just do have that number memorized at this point, you have to file as a public school. That's the law. It isn't optional. But like I said, there are people who haven't done it and they've been okay. I personally, I know of people who played Russian roulette and were fine. I know of people who played Russian roulette and died. I don't want to risk my children's education and my children's place in my home and having CPS with not filing. But if you have skipped a year, I was told you'll probably be fine, but you might want to make sure that you have kept samples from those years, things like that. So if you do have to put your kids in public school for other reasons, or if a college looks a little harder at your transcripts, you have some evidence of what they did. And breathe, file. It's not hard. I've got videos on how to file. I put a new one up every year. I also do webinars on it. And yeah, that's it. But that is official, straight from the private school department of the California Department of Education's mouth. You have until June 30th. The day you realize you didn't file it immediately. If you skipped a year, you'll probably be fine. Just make sure you have one for the current year, because that's the other part is if the sheriff shows up and says, show me evidence that you're a school, they're not going to say, and show me evidence for the last 10 years. They're only going to ask about the year you're in. So if it's past June 30th, you can just wait till the next year and say we're academically in between schools. So yeah, breathe. It's okay. It's okay. You've got this. What other questions do you have? Once again, consider joining my Patreon. I'm going to be starting some more webinars up, and I'm looking for topics too. So I will talk to you guys later. Have a great day. Bye.